Hi everyone, and welcome to the Generalist, where security practitioners look beyond niches, silos, egos, and hopefully build their competence and credibility. Next episode in my new and evolving series on the many foundational problems in our industry. I think we now covered around 18 of the problems. We have many more to go, and I'm hoping that you're developing your thoughts about how those problems manifest in your environments and how you're solving those problems, or if those problems continue to persist without solutions and therefore probably necessitating maybe rethinking of what efforts are being put forward, or maybe doing something completely different. So, in that vein, I will share 3 more to add to your list. The first one is very, very trivial, I must say. And, when I started in my career, that was in 2000, just before 9/11, and I immediately got into a global security department at Prudential Financial. And we had a fantastic, very knowledgeable person who was running the operational side of, security force around our campus in Newark. His name was Bill Gurney. And when I started talking to him and learning from him about how he sets out his policies for and security standard operation procedures, how he manages the security force. One thing that he said to me was that in order to maintain a fairly good retention rate of security personnel and also build loyalty and good quality of performance, he avoided the use of the term guard when he was referring to security personnel, people who stood posts and who executed various responsibilities around protection of the campus. And it stuck with me for years. And it was also one of the testing methods we used when we were bidding out contracts for outsourced security personnel companies. As soon as, let's say, a branch manager or a more senior leader with those companies would come and call their personnel guards, it was apparent to us that the value they were placing on the quality of their abilities was actually quite low, and they were selling us bodies in uniform. We always viewed humans in uniform who are charged to protect a campus as one of the most important roles and the front-facing role in any environment. And so for us, it was very important, like I said, to build loyalty, to constantly increase the quality of performance, and to have excellent teamwork. Therefore, we afforded to those humans the right to be called security officers. Now, there are also other titles that could be applied to people in these positions, but calling them guards, first of all, is archaic, and secondly, it reduces our ability as leaders to look at these people as people on a career path and develop them as people on a career path. Some of the most competent people I know that I've worked with and for have come from what used to be called guard force. They started as just regular security officers in various organizations, and then work their way up, learning pretty much everything about the organization, but also the skills of our discipline. And those are some of the smartest people I have seen to date. So the longer we continue to use this archaic term, guard, when we speak about security officers, those that stand in uniform and protect our facilities, the more we're going to perpetuate this almost like a box in which we put these people. This is the largest cadre, untapped, to a very large degree, untapped, that can infinitely improve the quality of our industry if we give them a chance, if we start developing them properly, if we start calling them security officers without fail, if we start paying them better, okay? If their take-home pay is about $30 an hour or more, if we put them on a career path and understand that they are on one, right? We will, not very quickly, but eventually improve our industry far more significantly than we are doing now. So, the next serious problem in our industry is this oversaturation of training, particularly in crisis management, in a tabletop format, without testing the participants' performance under stress. Now, I said it. I believe I said it slowly enough so that you can understand the thought that I'm sharing with you. How can you possibly perform during a live crisis if you don't have the muscle memory, the physical and mental ability to perform under stress? And yet, it seems like a lot of exercises for senior leaders that are responsible for crisis management are conducted in great comfort, with coffee, with pastries, with excellent lighting and comfy chairs, without testing how they would perform in stressful situations. Why? Why is that an issue? That's an issue because our ability to make decisions and to think in general gets significantly impaired when we are stressed out. I welcome for you to go and check a widely available literature on this topic. Much of it lies in psychology. Some of it has been written by NASA, and some of it has been written by various other organizations like FEMA and so on, that will tell you or help me prove my point. So I think that you will do a great service to those whom you're advising if you share with them that if they do want to learn how to manage crises, they have to do two things. One is learn how to perform under stress and have these tabletops designed in a way that tests that ability. And two is to build muscle memory about every task that is within their scope of performance. And maybe I'll add one more. Do this more frequently than once a year, because annual training, annual tabletops, however well designed they may be, don't allow for proper retention of information and therefore build up of muscle memory to be able to respond to actual events. Last but not least, we are witnessing a barrage of incidents that could be classified as cybersecurity incidents. And I hear that the community that calls themselves cybersecurity practitioners keep interchangeably using the words information and data. And I wholeheartedly believe that it's a significant, serious mistake when you equate those two, because what you're saying to decision makers who don't come from our profession, you're telling them that they're the same, information and data, whereas it couldn't be further from the truth. Data is ones and zeros. That resides in the digital domain. Information is something far more distributed. It could exist in my head, it could exist on paper, and it could exist digitally. So that would be the spectrum of where information exists. So therefore, interchangeably using the terms information and data, I don't believe is good service for the senior decision makers. Because what they forget, or what they gravitate to, is they gravitate to always looking at the digital domain when the term information is being used. Therefore, I also don't support such titles as Chief Information Security Officer, when all that person is responsible for, their scope of work, rests only within the digital domain. What are they doing about protecting information in paper form and in people's heads? So, I'll leave you with these thoughts. I welcome any commentary you have. Once again, I want to repeat, I don't really need you to agree with me. What I'm hoping to accomplish here is for you to think about how these how these problems that I'm describing manifest themselves in your environment. What works, what doesn't, what could you change, and whether that resonates with you. Okay? But please share with me your thoughts and your opinions. Thank you, as always, for your attention. Please stay safe.